Christmas has taken on a rather innocent air these days. The common image of Santa Claus descending down chimneys with his arms laden with presents is very modern. Although traditionally, many cultures around the world believed that this was the time when creepy creatures came out into the world, which is what we are going to talk about today. Top 5 creepy monsters of Christmas. Watch until the end to find out who is at the top of our list today, and your world will never be the same. 5. Krampus. Around the year 2000, Christmas cards from the Alpine regions of Europe began circulating on the internet, depicting a strange tradition that was until then virtually unknown in the English-speaking world. These cards depicted a large, hairy, devil-like figure who would either spank children or carry them away in a basket on his back. It was disturbing to think that something so vile and demonic could be associated with such a joyful holiday. When winter darkened the skies, Krampus night was celebrated. Traditionally, the men of the village would cover themselves in sheepskins and put on elaborate masks. They would then go to their neighbors' houses and chase the children, threatening to beat them with keys made of strong, flexible wood and ringing bells to add to the torment. In some places, it is said that children were even forced to run through a street lined with angry Krampuses who would impatiently try to hit them with tree branches. Despite the Inquisition's attempts to stamp out these heretical festivities, the locals seemed determined to torment children every Christmas. So Krampus night was, and still is, celebrated on December 5th, the eve of Saint Nicholas Day. In the 17th century, after the Inquisition failed to put an end to the aggressive tradition, Krampus was symbolically chained by Saint Nicholas. As a compromise, Krampus was no longer seen as a wandering monster, but as a necessary villain, shackled by Saint Nicholas to do his dirty work. In folklore, Krampus was depicted as a man who punished naughty children in a variety of ways. Covering the entire spectrum of punishments, Krampus was free to punish children, from the most simple, such as leaving them a lump of coal instead of a gift, to the most brutal extremes, children begging for mercy, then drowning them in a barrel of ink and fishing out their lifeless corpses with Krampus's pitchfork so that he could later display his trophy in the village. Some children were even kidnapped and thrown into his basket to be sent down to hell. On the night of December 5th, people dressed as the horned Christmas monster appear on the streets like never before. 4. Frau Perchta. In German tradition, Perchta can be a kind and giving entity that takes the form of a beautiful woman. She is believed to visit people's homes during the Christmas season and leave a silver coin for those residents she deems good. Perchta is thus a figure reminiscent of a benevolent nature goddess. However, folklore has it that Frau Perchta has another side. To those who have misbehaved, she appears old and haggard. In reality, she is evil incarnate. Before they can escape, naughty children are trapped. The last thing they see is an iron knife being driven into their soft stomachs. Then, Perchta's evil hands take out their entrails. Straw and pebbles are stuffed into the empty cavity that was once the child's stomach. Finally, Perchta sews up the corpse so that whoever finds it will not realize what atrocity has occurred. This nightmarish story should serve as a warning to naughty children at Christmas. Be good, or Frau Perchta will come for you. German children are also told that it is important to eat traditional food on Perchta's Day, January 5th. It is believed that if you celebrate Perchta on this day, leaving scraps on the table will appease Perchta during her nightly visit. However, this too is fraught with danger. For if you do not celebrate with the right foods, namely those that Perchta likes, she will still visit you while you are asleep in your bed. Like naughty children, your entrails will be eaten as compensation for your misbehavior. And if she catches you trying to crawl down to see her eating your food at night, this creepy Christmas character will blind you. A less cruel, but still a punishment. 3. Old Man Whipper. While other Christmas monsters are usually depicted as devil-like creatures, Old Man Whipper is an exception, as he is an ordinary person. In fact, this now folkloric figure was reportedly based on a real person. Whipper is said to have lived in the city of Myra, in modern-day Turkey, and worked as an innkeeper. One day, he lured 3 children into his inn by promising them food. However, they received no food. Instead, they were served the icy hand of death. After committing the crime, the innkeeper dismembered the bodies. The dismembered body parts of the children were placed in barrels to be pickled and preserved. Whipper is said to have dined on the unfortunate children with pleasure for several days. Before the barrels were emptied and the terrible deed forever hidden, Whipper received an unexpected visitor. The historical Saint Nicholas, working as a miracle-working bishop, discovered the innkeeper's crimes. Whipper repented in the face of the great saint and swore an oath of allegiance to him in his life and afterlife. It is possible that Bishop St. Nicholas punished Whipper by imprisoning him. However, folklore remembers that the vile villain was forever chained to the will of St. Nicholas to help teach children not to be naughty. Number 2. The Kalakansari. In southeastern Europe, it is said that during the 12 nights of Christmas, from December 25 to January 6th, creatures normally hidden deep within the bowels of the earth come to the surface to wreak havoc among the living. Descriptions of them vary. In some areas, they are described as tiny goblins that descend into chimneys and cause destruction. In other places, they are giant reptilian monsters with enormous claws. Sometimes they are depicted with bright red eyes. What is consistent in their descriptions throughout the rural Balkans is their evil nature. Some Kalakansars are said to enjoy playing pranks, stealing, and generally sowing discord in communities at Christmas. However, their most infamous deeds occur when they descend down chimneys into people's homes. Furniture and household goods are destroyed. People are brutally beaten, and their intestines are indiscriminately ripped out of their bellies. Folklore also says that Kalakansars are especially fond of kidnapping newborn babies during the Christmas season. They consider it their duty to cause trouble for mortals living on the surface. After the festive season is over, these evil monsters return underground to continue their evil work. After all, according to folklore, the Kalakansars spend the entire year sawing down the world tree, the mighty tree that holds our world together. But every year, just as they are about to destroy the world, Christmas arrives, and then the Kalakansars are forced to emerge to the surface and wreak havoc once more. 1. The devil. Among the horned host of cannibals, psychopaths, and demons who are said to be associated with Santa to help him punish bad children, there is the devil himself. In the Czech Republic and other European countries, people traditionally dress up as the devil and Santa Claus and visit different houses. There, old saint. Nick asks the parents and the children themselves if they have been good this year. If both answer yes, then the children are joyfully rewarded with gifts. If the children have been naughty and admit it, Santa Claus chides them and tells them to behave better next year. If the children have lied to Santa, then it is time for the devil to intervene. Knowing what awaits them, children usually go into hysterics of fear at the mere sight of him, hiding under their beds and huddling in corners. As soon as the devil catches up with his victim, he throws the naughty children over his back and carries them off to hell. At least that's what the other kids watching think. In reality, they are taken to another room in the house by a costumed teacher who scolds them, telling them that they really will go to hell next year if they don't start behaving. From now on, you know that during the Christmas holidays, you can not only receive gifts, but also face your fears. Be careful, because Christmas is ahead of us.